What's up? What's up, everybody? How's it going?
What's shaking? Congratulations, Bill.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's very exciting stuff.
I know. I got written about in Turtle Boy again.
Yeah.
It's a great honor. It's a great honor. The stories don't get any better or different, but they keep coming. They just keep coming. Yeah, I didn't read this one, but the little screenshot you sent in the chat earlier was enough.
It was pretty much spot on.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, we have a little bit of local dystopia to accompany the national dystopia tonight, as the Worcester police and city administration are going to tell the city council that there's absolutely nothing they can do to stop the police from getting a drone or limiting its use in any way. That's basically what's going to happen tonight, short of any miracles. So
yeah, that's actually a new. I guess it kind of fits, but the idea that the council has no oversight on policy.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so why is it there? Right? Like, what are they there for?
I know Tuesday is a slow night for network television, but you'd think you'd have something better to do with your time.
Yeah, right. I mean, the memo, let me see what agenda item number it is, but the memo here, I'll also put the agenda in the chat, but the memo from the law department is extremely revealing. It's basically just Mike Trainer saying, you can't actually tell the cops not to do this. You can't tell them not to get a drone, and you can't tell them how to use it. Yeah, it's 10.14 B.
Right.
And it is basically just like.
And the sad part of that is the response from the council is going to be, okay, well, thank you for telling us.
Right.
the only proper response is, okay, we're going into budget season. We're going to spend 2 weeks going line by line of every item in the police department's budget. Like, we're going to want to
Right.
see requisitions for every pen over the last 10 years to make sure we're getting this right, because that's something we can do.
Yeah, right. I mean, but also, I don't think I think that even if it was up to the council, I think the drone still passes probably by like a 7-4 vote, or even an 8-3 vote.
Yeah.
But even if there was a council that wanted to take seriously people's concerns about, surveillance and privacy, and the fact that they have said out loud that they're going to use these drones to hunt homeless people, is like, in the event we had a council that good, they still wouldn't be able to do anything. So it's like,
that's the part that's blowing me away over all this, is like, I when it comes to issues like anything that abuts like the Fourth Amendment, like, you're going to squick me out a little bit, but the general public, like, they're probably not going to get that engaged. If you just came in and said, hey, we've had like a dozen missing kids and a couple dozen missing elderly people over the last year,
yeah,
we think a drone could be helpful. Instead, you send in guys dressed like Peruvian generals from the 70s to like strong arm the council, and you expect like a positive response from that.
right.
I just don't get what anybody is shooting for anymore when it comes to their optics, if we can
Yeah.
throw around overused terms.
Yeah, I think that this is sort of like a real mask off moment for the city and for the police department, where they're handling this like legitimate concern about overreach by showing that they want overreach and just being like, fuck you, don't tell us what to do.
Right.
We're going to do whatever we want. Yeah, and that's really going to take up the bulk of the meeting tonight. There's not a whole lot of other stuff on here. There's a little bit. I haven't actually had time to read the memo yet, but there's a short memo from Ed Augustus on the succession plan to Eric Batista, and it's fine, I guess. I mean, it's crazy that he's just dipping right in the like middle of budget season, going to Europe, and he's just like, yeah, Eric will figure it out.
He's got this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's got this. It'll be fine. It'll be great.
I have a funny feeling that the what's going to take up the majority of time aside from drones is going to be conversation around the budget request for Doherty, which seems small.
Yeah.
But I also get the sense that we might not have handled things perfectly on that one as well.
Interesting.
I did some poking around today, and it sounds like a lot of communities obviously are seeing the same sort of overruns, and it's not because of the material costs have just gone through the roof. So it's like anyone who's involved with capital development is seeing increases. But It sounds like other districts are leaning on their state delegations for dollars to come out of ARA funds on the state level, as opposed to just dipping into their own pockets. So I'll be curious to see if that comes up tonight.
Huh. Yeah, that would be interesting. I didn't really have that thought. I just kind of glanced by that and I was like, that seems like a formality, but it would be interesting to see if there's there are
always overruns. I mean, the MSBA actually builds into their whole budget system the need for contingencies for overruns, but it's 23 million. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, right. For sure. Interesting. Yeti, the heat sensing element of the tech. Yeah, that actually in 1114A, the first memo that Mike Traynor filed about drones with like established case law, is literally a police department in California that chartered a private plane to find someone growing pot in their backyard, and it was upheld by all the courts. So it's something they could actually do. I mean, You're allowed to have a certain amount of a grow operation now under the law, right? But
12,
yeah. So, but still, like, they could very easily use that to hunt people growing weed, which is just great. That's awesome. With any luck,
after another.
yeah. With any luck, we'll get a little bit of maybe some spillover, public comment spillover from the protests going on downtown. I believe it's in front of the courthouse. Don't have much to say on that issue that you haven't read 15 times today, but I mean, it's just insane and nothing good. Nothing good's ever going to happen again.
That's actually the way to frame it too. Like, I hope you all are buckled in. Nothing good is happening from here on out. The Supreme Court is a battle that will be lost for the rest of our lives. So yeah. Petty would shush them for relevancy. Actually, you know what? No, maybe because he's running for a state senate, he'll let him go. But
this is Shaun down at the protest, by the way.
Oh, there he is. What a guy. Yeah, Bryan is running late, I believe. He is driving back from Hingham, he said, I think, if I remember correctly. But
I believe that's what he said. He'll be here eventually.
Hingham.
But he's a ghost for now.
Hingham, the ghost of Bryan. Hingham. I had a very productive day today. I beat Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy, and I just entered Landal, the capital city, and I'm about to face off Morgott. And after that, I'll be on to the mountaintops, the mountaintop peaks or whatever it's called. Making a lot of goals, making a lot of progress. I'm level 91. It's been a wild ride, and it was just really nice of the Worcester Business Journal to recognize how much work I've been putting in my Elden Ring build. Going really heavy on the endurance, which isn't really a stat people think is important, but it's extremely important. And that's just what separates the men from the boys, and it's just nice. It's just so nice for the Worcester Business Journal to recognize the hard work I've been doing.
That's precisely why you were ahead of Tim Murray in your section.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I see Tim Murray in PvP. I'm murking his ass.
That was a nice shot of you too, Bill.
Oh yeah, I took that myself. And I think that the reason why it's so big in the print layout, which is hilarious, is because it couldn't work as a headshot. But still, to be a fly on the wall in Tim Murray's office when he sees that my picture is ahead of his and much larger would have been nice. But
well done.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're inner circle now?
Yeah, I'm in the inner circle.
Is there a ceremony for this one?
I don't know. I don't think so. No. Yes, that would be so good. I do a little bunny ears. Gotcha. Gotcha. You're a fucking cretin. I had a professional failure today, guys. I'm trying to get a run of merch going for the 2-year anniversary of Worcester Sucks. And I ordered these stickers off a Sticker Mule that have a QR code. But they're so small.
Oh no!
They're so small that the QR code doesn't work. It's like too tiny. I should have looked at the sizing on these things. I ordered 100, and might just throw them in the trash. So
yeah, it still works as a pin.
Well, no, it's a sticker, not a pin.
Oh, it's a sticker, even better.
Yeah, I mean, it still works as a sticker, but it also is hilarious that there's a QR code on it that you would need. Like,
I'm with Yenny. Now it's part of the joke.
Yeah. I should just make this QR code really blurry on everything. You can't actually use it. I thought I was being so slick. I was gonna put them all around like Polar Park and shit. But not anymore. Gotta wait for the next run. I'll do that. I'll print the sticker the size that it should be, and I'll take a bunch of mushrooms and go to Polar Park and just put them everywhere. And
I was gonna say, you also know you can call me or like email me. I'll help you with graphics. It's kind of what I do.
Yeah, I thought I could handle it, but I guess not. I guess I'm gonna have to.
Not trying to throw shade.
Well, I know, but it's a pretty simple task, and I fucked it up so bad. So, that's the kind of thing that gets you in the Power 50. Not being able to order stickers correctly.
Learning from your mistakes.
Yeah, right. Or not. Yes, QR code sucks, and I love it. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really excited for this meeting to just like take sort of like the sort of ambient hopelessness of the moment right now and channel it into something like you can just watch happen directly in real time.
Yeah.
It's going to be really fun. Everyone's going to have a blast watching this. And you're going to be filled with so much hope and inspiration that, local politics, it's where you can make a difference, right? Unless you want to make an actual difference, and then they don't let you.
It's not true despair unless you can feel it on a local level. Really wrap your arms.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, I cannot wait for Donna Colorio to take a little fucking victory dance, a little tap dance on this one. I love that the police can look in people's houses. I think that's so great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the drone thing. So there's 2 items on the agenda, and then there's like 4 items that are held. So we're going to be talking about drones for a long time, and I wonder if they will send out Mirtha this time, like the police PR guy who like knows how to talk to people and not sound like a cartoon villain, or if they'll stick with Paul. If they'll stick with Paul Saucier, who like is just a GI Joe bad guy. Yeah.
Goes stomping out of the room, shaking mics off the tables and whatnot. Yeah. It's
like
a petulant child.
1000% has like some sort of subscription to Black Rifle Coffee. Like one of like I guarantee you go to his kitchen, he's got Black Rifle Coffee. He uses the word operator a lot. He's really into the Navy SEALs, all that kind of shit. Yeah. Two seems poised to make a valiant stand, and I wish them the best. Wait, what's this? Did Nicole have a new post up?
Yes.
Interesting. I haven't read that yet. I'm gonna open that right now and give it a quick read through.
I think it's just making the valid point that you, if it's the same post that I'm thinking of, that we are doing the runaround with what the council does and does not have authority over, but at the same time, you're getting that from a law department that does nothing but get the city successfully sued year after year. So
yeah, they're really good at losing lawsuits.
Yeah, maybe giving the council a swing ain't the worst idea in the world. It's
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if anyone is going to try to substantively challenge Trainor's ruling on this, because it seems like an awful precedent to just kind of roll over and take. But
right, and I mean, on some level, I think it at least makes sense superficially that, like, do you want either the manager or the council to be in the weeds on crafting policy themselves? Probably not. Like, that's what employees for. But you do want them putting a stamp on everything. Otherwise, who's taking responsibility for anything?
Right. And what is the point of having an executive body if not for that? But like, that's what it should be doing. So I don't know. But hey, something good actually did happen this week or last week. It was like the superintendent hire seems like a great superintendent hire.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, like super, like above and beyond qualified person. And listening to her speak at the meeting last week, right after Maureen Binyenda took the occasion of Gordon Hargrove's retirement to talk about all of the pursuit of happiness plots she's like run through her mind with like 17 different kids. It was like literally I said it in my post, and I don't know if I can describe it any better, but it was like she was writing an Instagram post from her missionary trip to like Botswana. That's what her comments about like being a school administrator read like. And it's like the difference was just palpable. Like this is someone who like understands systems, understands like the pitfalls of discipline, and is going to really like manage from an informed place and not just like a petty lord of the school district. So I am
good.
excited about that. I think
Everyone, welcome to the Worcester City Council
meeting.
meeting.
Keep in mind when the good thing
please
happens.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Kate's already pacing, so we're off to a good start.
Oh my God, that hissy fit she threw last week was amazing.
The one thing that stood out to me from the interview with the new superintendent was she had a line about communication that was, if people aren't informed, they hallucinate. And
that was great. Yeah,
I really appreciated that in the context of, well, this right here, right? Like,
yeah, right.
The utter lack of transparency, and then at the same time, people wondering why nobody trusts anything they do.
Yeah, right. Because you haven't earned it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just such a simple concept too, right? Like,
yeah,
yes, there might not be anything specifically regarding transparency in your charter, but the more you tell people, the less they're going to freak out over little shit.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty
yeah,
easy.
it's interesting. Interesting how that works. But I would love personally, if I was ever to have a counselor's ear or be a counselor myself, the first thing I would do is get rid of this fucking national anthem and Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of every meeting.
Sounds like another Turtle Boy post.
Yes. I hate cops and the Pledge of Allegiance. Whoa. But yeah, the Turtle Boy poster is like, let's see, what was that screenshot you sent me where he said like, Bill hasn't learned that you can't keep a job and say incendiary things online.
On the internet, yeah. Really, guys?
It's like, oh, the person who's never said one incendiary thing on the internet and also has a job coming forward to set the record straight.
Yeah, this is probably just me, but it drives me nuts that they put the flag behind the TV that they're on.
Council Bergman.
Oh, yeah, right?
Themselves.
That's kind of tacky.
King.
Yeah.
I never noticed that before, but that's
Council Nguyen.
They're just like that.
Here.
Council
She's
Rose.
still on the move.
Here. On the move.
Council Russell.
Hey.
Here.
Council Toomey.
Why is she
Petty.
just doing that all of a sudden?
Proclamation.
Just going up to the mayor and saying whatever she wants to.
Whereas good mental health is a key component in the child's healthy development of the Children's Mental Health Week provides the opportunity to focus on this important matter while celebrating the accomplishments of children and families affected by mental health concerns.
Hell yeah, that rules.
Whereas, according to the United States Department of Health and Human Services, 1 in 5 children is diagnosed with mental health condition. Whereas research has shown early identification and appropriate treatment of mental health disorders among children and adolescents provide them better opportunities.
If they just like fed these proclamations into like the
whereas
old school,
children and youth with mental health problems and their families benefit from
text thing,
access to timely
like
services and support that are family-driven,
a lot
youth-guided, and culturally
better to
appropriate.
listen to than
They also benefit from the integration of behavioral health and primary.
I'm going to remove
education
this, guys. Hold on.
We could just have Clippy from the old Microsoft Works read up.
Yeah. What is I can't like I can play on the stream, but it'd be really funny to just copy and paste like the entire agenda into that thing and just have the computer voice say it. But yeah, I don't know I can't remember what this proclamation is.
Mental health awareness.
Oh, okay. It's good that we're aware.
To focus on the needs of their children and families and celebrating this year's theme.
Sorry about that.
Action changes
I was on the
is
Zoom,
fitting
but
to
it wasn't
increase public
putting up
awareness among
the
Massachusetts
captions.
citizens.
And you can't control the volume on Zoom. Like
Whereas
you can on
obtaining a full and
Facebook.
accurate diagnosis of a child requires gathering information on diverse sources, including the family, school, and others involved.
So now I could turn him down. You guys can
Now,
continue
therefore,
talking.
I, Joseph M. Petty, Mayor of the City of Worcester, do hereby proclaim May 1st to May 7th, 2022, as
Wait,
Shaun
no.
Connolly,
Where can we find the Joe Petty pictures at the airtight cleanup?
Residents to recognize
God, I love it.
in this reserve.
I love. He takes some of the goofiest pictures of all time, and it's so endearing and hilarious.
And God
Like,
bless you.
remember when they did the
You
hockey
know,
on
a lot of strength. Come on up
Elm
and,
Park,
Council
Elm
Russell,
Park Pond, and he's wearing the hockey helmet? It looks so funny.
Oh, hey, yay.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
What's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. I'm looking for pictures of
didn't-
Joe Petty at the Earth Day cleanup.
Anybody else love the Pledge of Allegiance and Cops and Turtle Boy?
Thank you, Karen.
I don't know why I thought of that. I just want to get that out there.
Okay, we're going to be.
So, Brian, Kate Toomey's already
some
pacing
items
around
tonight, so
and
people are
going
aware
to
of it. There is,
sidebars with the mayor.
Councilor Nguyen,
Like she's been watching
courtesy,
too much Law and Order or
is ill
something.
tonight, so we're going to hold
Um,
10.14A.
Your Honor, may I approach the bench?
Which is the
Yeah.
opinions regarding drones. And also the previous weeks was 13A, 13F. We need 4 votes to hold that. And also.
They're gonna hold it again?
13B, which
Why are they
is,
going to hold the drone thing
the
again?
Canal District was
There's
held
nothing
last
else on the
week, so
agenda.
we hold that.
But he said he needs 4 votes to hold it.
Yeah, they need 4 votes to hold it.
They will get 4.
Yeah.
Let me see the number here. The camera one there. I'm sorry, the cell phone.
The cell
You
phone.
want me to wait till
Great.
it comes
That's
up?
great. That's just great.
Yeah,
Are they-
good to tell people though.
Is he
Okay,
wearing
so-
a trash bag? Is that, are
Okay.
Remember?
they throwing out the mayor? They skim him out of the
13E.
out of Crystal Pond?
They mistook him for a jet ski that was thrown into the woods.
Did I miss public participation?
No,
No, we're doing votes right now to hold
Okay.
all the drone conversation.
Okay, so we're going to
Yeah.
go to public
Wait,
participation.
Wait.
Mr. Chair, are we holding those now? Is that what you're doing? Holding them now?
Yeah.
Because I'd like to do roll call on them.
Okay, so we'll do.
That's especially the ones that are on the second time.
Okay, so we have some that you can hold. So 13A and 13B needs 4 votes, and 10.14A and 14B need no votes. So we're going to hold 10.14A and 10.14B.
she wants a roll
13A,
call specifically on the
13F.
ones that don't require votes.
Taking collectively on the roll call, if you'd
Wait.
like.
No. Individually, Mr. Chair?
They're the same ones, okay. 13A, we'll do the 13A roll call.
So, Mr. Mayor, 13A for a hold, Council Bergman,
No.
Council Calorio,
No.
Council Gia,
Yes.
Council King,
Yes.
Council Mo Carlson.
No.
Council Nguyen is not here, Council Rivera,
Oh,
Counselor
For
Nguyen
hold,
is not
yes.
there.
Council Rose,
Yes.
Council Russell,
Yes.
Council Toomey,
No.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes.
Okay.
So 13A is held.
I hope two's okay.
10.14A and B.
yeah, I don't know what's
Those are
going
held
on.
under privilege.
They've been on
Then we have
on Zoom
13B.
the last few
that's
weeks
the
anyways,
vote to
right?
be held. We need four votes. Might as well do that now, I guess.
Oh,
What's it, 13B? 13B?
Yeah.
Did we do B already? 13B already?
Oh, I've missed 13F. I'm sorry. 13F.
13F?
Yep.
So we only did A, correct?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
you're right, Council. 13. So to go to 13F, roll call.
So
This is a hold on the.
F's in the chat
drones.
for 2.
Correct.
Council Bergman,
No.
Council Calorio,
No.
Council Gia,
Yes.
Council King,
Yes.
Council Mo Carlson,
No.
Council Nguyen, not here, Council Rivera,
Yes.
Council Rose,
Yes.
Council Russell,
Yes.
Council Toomey,
No.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay, 13B, which is the Canal District one, I believe.
I was talking to a city councilor, and they said that a lot of this last week was all retaliatory,
Council
where
Bergman,
somebody came
Council
in.
Calorio,
Yes.
Council Gia,
Yes.
Council King,
No.
Council Mo Carlson,
Yes.
Council Nguyen is not here, Council Rivera,
Yes.
Council Rose,
No.
Council Russell,
Yes.
Council Toomey,
Yes.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes.
Do you
What
guys
was
feel like
retaliatory,
it-
Joe?
These votes to hold back and forth.
Cost-
Oh, That's so fucking petty. That's great.
It seems like it's continuing.
Roll call.
That's so petty. It's running for state
Bergman?
senate.
Where's the drum machine?
This is 13E.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, is there a request by somebody to hold this again?
Yes, Council King has asked to hold it. Council Nguyen is ill, and that's probably part of the reason.
Roll call, please.
Yep. Council Bergman,
No.
Council Calorio,
No.
Council Haji,
Yes.
Council King,
Yes.
Council Merrill Carlson,
No.
Council Nguyen's not here, Council Rivera,
Yes.
Council Rose,
Yes.
I mean,
Council Russell,
Yes.
they're basically just showing that they
No.
don't have the votes. Like it's 4
We have
against 7
13B,
on these. Like,
which is
so
Worcester
that's a
Box
cool
Reason
political
Motion or
strategy.
review.
To just be
Roll call.
fucking
Just-
petty,
we just
enforce a
declare
roll
we
call
already did
vote
roll
when
call
you're
for
losing.
13B, yep.
Okay. Okay, we're good. Okay.
Hold it. Everything.
Okay, we can go home.
That was funny.
He's got jokes.
Held under privilege.
Those were 10.14A
Wait a minute,
and
10.
10.14.
Okay, we can go home.
Okay.
It cracks me up sometimes.
Okay, so we have public participation, 2 minutes.
Yes, the guy. Dude, I want that guy
Your
from
name and city of
Front
residence,
Street
item
to come
number.
back so bad.
Fred Nathan.
I get out there
Mr.
with
Mayor,
with
City
an axe.
Manager, Council. 10.33, the $23 million.
Kate's leaving.
And inflation, prices have gone up on everything, taxes have gone up. There isn't one element in society where the prices have not gone up. Just curious question.
I don't think they held the Doherty
On
one.
the
No.
23 million, do you have any specifics that you have talked to the council on? You can just kind of think about that.
what a minx! What a catty little guy.
On hold. And 13G on the body cams.
Kathleen's
we
boys, we gotta get
always
these boys their toys.
The politicians here talk about liability. What does the liability cost to the city to make sure that if something happens out there, someone can't turn around and sue the city? I would think
Just dentures are loose.
the
Just rolling around in
society
there.
and the police and the fire and everything else out here. If even the police want the body cams, I can't think of any cops that don't want the body cams.
This
Mr.
dude
Mayor,
basically
are you
has one
listening?
fit.
I am listening to you. Don't question me. I'm listening. I'm trying to run the
I'm
meeting
just
too.
curious,
Go ahead.
and I find it
Question me?
amazing.
Joe Petty's in a
that
good
every
mood
time
tonight.
the city
Yeah.
council
I'll go
doesn't
home.
Want something to be
I'll just go home. You guys want to get some
someone asks
beers?
it to be held. Are you?
Yeah.
Are you all waiting until there's no one in this gallery?
Joe Petty ripped a big edible before.
Thank you.
For tonight.
Your name is to your residence?
Idella Hazard, City of Worcester. He sure makes me curious too.
One guy throwing shit at the other one.
Oh my God, this meeting is so good already.
What a little bit of warm weather will do.
No, I know.
Unmanned aircraft system should be held until the civil
Shout out.
liberties focuses on the policies regulating the use. Sometimes we have too much security.
So we're going to
and not
run
enough
these two for
police.
council next go around, right?
Oh my God, I want to manage Idella Hazard's campaign
all
so
too
bad.
often. Now, moving on to 13G. The body cameras for contract for 5-year period. I think it should be permanent.
Yeah, we got to get pothole guy.
That is not an
That's
issue of
not.
privacy.
That's not how it works.
That is an issue of security.
Oh, I love you, Idella, but that's just not how
It's
it
an issue
works.
of security
These are leased things.
for the public.
You need a contract.
And it's also an issue of security for the police officers. So
Yeah, but it doesn't do
I'm all in
anything.
favor of 13G, and I'm quite leery, to say the least.
No, nice word.
About
Idella, $10 word hazard.
having drones, unmanned aircraft systems patrolling in the skies of Worcester. As it is, we already have the state police and their helicopters up there if we needed them in an emergency. So I think we're always talking about budget. We could save an awful lot of money by not putting unmanned aircraft up there when we have the state police. If we needed to follow a vehicle or whatever, they would be quite able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know who the guy with the plaid tie is.
No, I don't recognize him.
Nobody else?
He could be one of the lawyers for the
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I do
for the
have
union.
a few folks that raised their hands online. If you're on the Zoom platform, if you want to raise your hand, if you're on an electronic device, just raise your hand. And if you're on the phone,
How many
press
people are
star
sitting at
9.
computers doing
First
this?
speaker can identify as John Q. I'm going to try to unmute.
Oh, John Q. Denzel.
John, can you hear us?
Come on,
We're
Denzel.
You're gonna get your son that heart.
Can you say your name, city of residence, and the item you're calling about?
My name is John Keogh. I am from Worcester. I live on
Keogh.
Irving Street. And
He's a-
I'm calling
he's a
about
walker.
item
If you
13F,
are this
held
program.
under privilege, related to the drone. And I just have two questions I'd like the city council to be able to answer. And one, the first question is this. The training that the police are receiving, what is the nature of this company that's doing the training? What's their financial interest in the city? And do any of the city councilors or city employees have any financial connections directly to the company that's doing the training for the
Good
police?
question.
And the second question is like the first. The
John
company
Q.
providing the technology, the drone itself, has the company been vetted in the same way? Do any city employees, do any of the city councilors have a financial interest?
There's actually a
in
story
any way,
about
shape, or form with,
like a department in California.
companies?
I was doing when I
And
was
finally,
researching
I
this
have one
issue.
thought. I myself was a
That
former
there's
homeless
like a
man.
revolving door
And city
between
manager
the drone
Augustus
company and the police department.
last week on the Talk of the Commonwealth said that the
They get
police have
cushy
never
jobs
harassed
at the
homeless
drone
people in Worcester.
company when they
That
retire.
is categorically false.
And they
I
send
myself
drones
have
out
been
with
harassed by the
every
police
single
while
patrol.
homeless, just for the
Really?
fact of being
Yeah.
homeless.
Like it's like how
Those are
police
reported
cars
and
have to go to
documented
fires and
incidents.
medical
There's been
calls. They
multiple
send a
lawsuits by
drone
people
with
in that
every
condition
single
against the city,
dispatch.
often are settled out of court without.
It's probably not one of those
public
cute
information.
Snapchat drones. It's
And I just want the city manager to maybe readdress those public statements that he made that the police have never had any issues with how they deal with people who are unhoused. That's it. Thank you.
Wow, nice.
Good job, John.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think that's the only person that raised their hand for the Zoom virtual platforms. I think we can conclude that portion of the meeting.
Okay.
Wait, all in the past, that's the story got taken down from Twitter. That's why I haven't been hearing from him. God, I've had a couple of fun days on Twitter. Tell you what, a lot of muting a lot of accounts, with
Councilor
several
Bergman?
dozen
Yes.
followers.
Councilor
I'm muting
Calorio?
these days.
Yes.
Councilor G.I.?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilmember Carlson? Councilor Rivera?
Carlson, gross.
Yes.
Councilor Rose?
There she is.
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
What? She's on a warpath, a rampage.
7A, 7B, motions to open the hearing, roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor G.I.?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilmember Carlson?
Kate
Councilor Rivera?
Toomey, the lawyer for
Yes.
Councilor
the
Russell?
Yes.
department, just had to do a
Toomey?
fat line in the bathroom.
Yeah,
before
right.
they come back.
Yes.
Blowing
Anybody
rails.
opposed?
They're just blowing fat fucking
7A
lines
or
in the
7B?
bathroom. All right, Cipro's the plug.
Anybody opposed? The motion is to close the
He
hearing.
takes it right out of the
Roll
evidence
call.
locker.
Councilor Bergman?
Right up the nose.
Councilor
No
Calorio?
test strips needed.
Councilor G.I.?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilmember Carlson?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rose?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Recess.
Kate Toomey
executive
just
session,
got
come back
diagnosed
at
with
the end
adult
of the meeting for
ADHD,
that.
and she's on like 45 milligrams of Adderall a day.
Petition may speak up
That she just does
for
not
3
need.
minutes, and the first time the item appears on the agenda. We have 9A to 9G, refer to traffic and parking.
Chewing her
Anybody here for
gums
that?
out.
See nobody. Motions to send to traffic and parking. Roll call.
Council Bergman,
Yes.
Council Calorio,
Yes.
Council Gia,
Yes.
Council King,
Yes.
Councilmember Carlson,
Yes.
Council Rivera,
That's so
Yes.
sick.
Council Rose,
I love the
Yes.
MCL.
Council
If
Rose.
they're
Me
having
too.
Taco Tuesday,
Toomey,
I'm
Yes.
here
Mayor
for
Petty.
it.
Yes. 9.2A,
Amazing
recommend the
facilities.
appointment of Michael
MCL.
Angelini to the chair of the Worcester Redevelopment Authority. Roll call.
Michael Angelini.
Mr. Mayor, I think it's
Hey,
point-
let's make the most corrupt rich
that?
guy in the
I think it's
city
10.2A.
the king of
Yep.
the corrupt rich guy
Council
club.
Bergman,
Oh,
Yes.
John,
Council
please
Calorio,
enlighten us. We loved your
Council
question.
Gia,
Yes.
That was
Council
fantastic,
King.
Colin.
Yes.
I'd love to
Councilmember
hear what
Carlson.
you.
Yes.
Council Rivera,
That was a really good. That was you?
Council Rose,
Yeah.
Yes.
Council Russell,
Wow.
Council Toomey,
Yes.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes.
Also, John is on
7.6A,
the,
transmitting information
cable
communication relative to the Save the
Oh,
Date
cool.
for the 2022 Paul J. Moosey Employee of the Year Award to be held at noon.
That's
on
me.
May 16th.
I like the comment about how the
City
city
Hall
manager
Plaza.
should
Motion
rethink his
to approve.
comments about how the
Roll call.
city is
Council Bergman,
always good to
Yes.
homeless
Council
people.
Calorio,
Yes.
Council Gia,
Yes.
Council King,
Yes.
Councilmember Carlson,
Yes.
Council Rivera,
Yes.
Council Rose.
No, it's not that
Yes.
they
Council Russell.
doing Jenga is a code
Council
word for
Toomey.
cocaine.
Yes.
and Mayor
The
Petty.
cops were doing Jenga
B
and
is
cocaine
transmitting
at the same
information
time.
communication
It was
relative to infrared
They weren't
cocaine
arrested.
and playing Jenga at a house party, and that's
They
what
weren't
two of them
arrested.
overdosed.
They weren't arrested for the cocaine
Thank
for the
you.
Jenga part.
I
They
just
were
wanted to say a couple of words because I put
hospitalized
this
for
on
the
the
cocaine
agenda probably about 2.5 years ago to see if we could. purchase the
John, you should
technology,
send
info
our account a
patch
message
So
about
I
this.
read the
We'd love
report
to hear
and
some
I'm
more.
glad that we're at least moving forward with it. And I just see if Commissioner Fink is here, I could ask a couple questions or. Okay, great.
What
Okay.
item is this? I missed it. Sorry.
Deputy Commissioner Coyle.
Thank you. Just through the chair, just a couple of questions. So I see that we're going to contract services. Is that correct to do the info patch system
Through the chair to the council, that's correct for patches.
for patches?
Correct.
So through the chair, is it used for other things as well? I'm not aware of. I thought it was just for patches.
Well, I think the original ask was relative to pothole repair. So when we're looking at potholes, the
Potholes.
DPW
It's like some sort of infrared technology.
we repair about
Oh, we got Cyrus
10
Moulton from the
Yes.
Telegram
So
at
it
the
wasn't something that we
at the
felt was
meeting tonight.
appropriate
Steve
for
Foskey
potholes.
must have a day
Typically,
off.
Those are in areas where we have failure.
One of their
occurring.
remaining
We
reporters.
felt that going out to bid and utilizing this technology for roadway patches, in particular on roads that were less than 5 years old, would be the best use for infrared technology.
Through the chair, so patches, are they deeper or are they bigger? I mean,
What the
is-
fuck
I mean,
question
if
is
you could
this?
Make a distinction.
What
for
is a
our
what is a
general
patch
audience.
for a
I mean, I know the
pothole?
difference between a pothole and a patch.
For
Does
a
it
patch
make-
website. So
Is it something that makes the potholes bigger? Does the DPW go around and make the potholes bigger on purpose?
In size, you can have 10-inch diameter up to 2, even
Is
6
it
feet
deeper?
in size.
This is also, you know, if you want to follow Mike Trainer's ruling, way outside the purview of the city council. If we can't tell the cops not to get a drone, we cannot tell the DPW how to patch
The
potholes.
technology is also better utilized in areas where the pavement
And
is.
like Joe Petty said, we can just go home.
Roadways 20
If Mike Trainer's ruling is true, we can just go home.
typically
We don't need this
deteriorated to the point where it
executive
needs to be
body.
resurfaced or reconstructed. In those particular locations, we wouldn't utilize infrared technology, but in pavements that are in newer condition, larger areas that have been permanently patched, usually you're excavating down, 4 to 6 feet, you're filling that up and compacting in lifts, and you'll have a temporary patch. You'll come back and do a permanent patch, and then let it settle through a winter, and then we would apply the infrared technology. So that's what we would be going out to bid for this year, to have a company that specializes in infrared.
And through the chair, to my knowledge, we haven't used this before, or we have used it in.
Yenny, do you know if the repairs
Sure, through the chair, it has been used
are
in
like
the past,
better
but not in several
as
years.
opposed to
The only
making? I can't
areas
tell if
that
I
may
prefer driving
some
into
use will
holes
be
or
through the
off
permit
speed
program,
ramps,
and that's
like
something we're
on
also
street.
trying to increase the use through permits as well. So when a permit is issued,
You know what's a
through
fucking
other
wild thing about
utility
potholes,
companies
like in general,
besides our own utility, water and
is
sewer, we're looking
it
to
seems like
also
National Grid and
increase the use of
Eversource
infrared
like purposely
technology on
wait
gas
until
company, National Grid
the
charter,
city repaves
other
roads to
utility
go
companies
in
as well.
and do
Yeah.
like
Thank
line
you.
replacements.
That's a
Yeah.
great
Like
idea.
if they're intentionally
I have
like trying to rip up new roads.
one more quick question
Well,
is if
so I don't know if you guys
we
know this,
see
but
that, because we're going to be using
whenever
this a
they
lot,
do
we
like a
see that
patch
it's really
for any like
beneficial
repairs under
and
the
it's
road
cost
or
effective,
anything, like if
would
there's
we
any work
consider
underneath
using
the
them
road, they
for
patch it and then they have to
potholes
rip
or
it up
for
3 months later,
purchasing our
check
own?
it, and
I
patch it
know
again.
in the
So
report it stated that.
every time they do the
and
work, they
and
have
I
to
understand
undo
that
it
the training involved
and
in
do it
may not
again
have someone that can
within
actually use this
less than
machine, but would
half a year.
we use this as an
Really?
indicator to
Yeah,
maybe
I did
roll
paving
in the
for a
direction
summer.
of purchasing
Interesting. Why is that? Why is that?
getting this
I guess
machine
to check
work
the
on
work
our potholes in the city
to make
through the
sure,
chair?
but it also kind of
Through the
seems like
chair,
it's like
I could
something
see
that's pushed by the
potentially for
asphalt
the
companies. So
use
you're like,
on
oh
our
no, we have to make sure
permanent
it's right. And
patches for utility
they
cuts.
do the
Not
work
likely
twice and get paid for it
for
twice.
potholes.
Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
gotcha.
Again, because of the nature of the potholes in the area where there's pavement failure occurring.
Hell yeah.
And so even if you do repair it, you fill the pothole and you try to heat this area up, it's probably going to fail again because the underlying layers are in failure as well. As far as purchasing our own equipment and training our staff as we build up our staff, that's definitely a possibility.
Okay, thank you for the report. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Council Toomey?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate the report also. And several years ago, I had filed an order on taking a look at, there's a machine out there that actually does all
Dude,
of the
no one
steps
cares,
at once.
Kate.
It fixes potholes
I think
and
it's a
hunts
square
homeless
or
people.
a round
So
circle,
you should get that.
then lifts it
Kate
up.
Toomey always likes to
Put it
remind
into
people of how she
even,
filed the dumbest order of all time,
even
like
a
7
hole
years
or
ago.
a square.
And
then,
now we're talking about
puts
something
the,
that's sort of
hot
similar,
patch,
and she tries to take credit
or
for it.
replacement tar down.
You know what
into
else
it,
uses
and
infrared
then seals it
technology?
and
Drones,
and all that
fuckers.
other stuff. And I don't know if
Yeah.
you had looked at any
Yeah,
alternative
does the
types
pothole
of,
robot
to deal with
use facial recognition
these
technology?
pothole issues at all? Or?
Through the chair, that's.
What if we use homeless people, grind them up, and use them to fill the
That
pothole?
or any
Okay.
communities
could
in the
work.
area that use that would certainly be willing to look at that technology as well. Typically for us, there are so many potholes that on aging roads that are 20, 30, 40 years old. We try to fill as many as we can. And, our goal is actually pavement preservation at this point. In terms of, last year, we implemented a crack sealing program. This year, we're going to, again, pursue crack sealing and at a much larger scale. And we try to keep our good roads good and maintain them with, through pavement preservation. So that we can try to
Every day, Donna Corio wakes up and sticks a butter knife in the electrical socket in her
Mr.
kitchen.
Chair, is that
She
the
charges
same
her
type
tear.
of,
She just throws a toaster in the tub.
ceiling that they use in the airport runways?
I'd have to research what
Okay.
you're referring to, the infrared.
No, the ceiling.
I'd have
What are you
to
talking about, Kate?
research what the approach
Okay.
is.
All right.
Do
thank
you know what you're talking about? Because he does.
You want down Public Works or file with motions to file, roll call.
Oh, she read an article.
Council Bergen.
Ironically,
Yes.
on
Council
patch.
Calorio.
Yes.
I would
Council
love
Dier.
to see Kate
Council
Toomey's
King.
bookmarks.
Councilmember Carlson.
Yes.
Council Rivera.
Yes.
Yeah,
Council
I read
Rose.
it. NBC,
Council Russell.
MSNBC,
Council Toomey.
Stormfront.
Mayor Petty.
Yes.
Nope.
Transmitting
Mr.
supplement.
Chairman,
Oh.
I had requested information. Was that approved as well?
On your information?
Yeah.
No, we can go separate roll call on that.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call.
She's like, it's like she's acting out now.
Bergman.
Like
Yes.
Council Calorio.
She is
Yes.
being a little
Council
piss
Dier.
baby.
Yes.
yeah, she like was the good
Yes.
kid in class.
Councilmember
Like
Carlson.
class like
Council Rivera.
suck up, and then
Yes.
Council
the teacher
Rose.
scolded her,
Yes.
and now
Council
she's
Russell.
like
Yes.
Flashing out.
Yeah, she's just going on a full-on fucking rampage because her cop boys didn't get their little boy toys.
Communication relative to the fiscal.
That is true. Her name is Kathleen
water
now.
and sewer rates.
Said
Councilor Russell?
derisively every
Mr.
time.
Chairman, I ask that this information, as well as the staff, be available at our Public Works Committee meeting, and we can go over it at that time.
Okay, to send it to Public Works. Roll call.
This is going to be a really short meeting.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Without
Councilor
throwing
G.A.?
conversation,
Yes.
honestly,
Councilor
there's
King?
only
Yes.
Councilor
the
Markowski?
Doherty
Yes.
and
Councilor
Yes.
Councilor Rose?
what's the other one?
Yes.
What am I
Councilor
forgetting?
Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. Next is 10.22A. Transmitting information communication relative to the
A
schedule
lot in the foyer.
of events for the 2022 Memorial Day ceremonies. So that's at Elm Park on Sunday. Then we have the 3 events on Monday. So motion is to file. Roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor G.A.?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Carlson?
Of course she
Councilor
did.
Zera?
Oh, she loved those
Councilor
stories.
Rose?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. 10.33A, transmitting information communication relative to the costs associated with
Yeah.
replacement authority Memorial High School referred to.
They need plenty of time to go into executive session and give the cops the fattest, biggest contract in the fucking world, without question.
I saw somebody posted on Facebook, I think it was Pat Sargent, about something about East Park and the pavilion there, and like saying, "Oh, why isn't there any concerts being done there? Why aren't there more events here? They need better neighbors." And Anthony Petroni had the gall to say that
Thank you for the report and
the city's wasting money and they're not spending it. There's no money for events like that. It's like, yeah, dude.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, because you're fucking bleeding us dry, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Suggestions on where you're
I I replied to his comment with the numbers of all the public salaries.
Nice, good.
Project, or what's your thoughts on that?
Sure, that went over great.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's gonna kill me.
Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you to the mayor. So let me be clear. All of the things that were originally part of the Doherty project, we intend to have part of the Doherty project at the end. What we're trying to do is meet the guaranteed maximum price, which is about to be signed after all the contracts have been awarded. And we were over. We had
That is an important thing to remember. Alcier literally shot someone dead in the street with a rifle, like last year, and he says all sorts of shit on Facebook.
So that the school opens.
Today is such a good day to feel bad.
Yeah, the world is the worst.
Add the elements which are going to come later in the project. For example, the solar arrays. The building will be built in a way that will have all of the electrical infrastructure that when we find the resources to put the solar arrays on, it'll already be there. It won't have to be redone. They'll be ready to receive that. The sports lighting.
Oh yeah.
By the time the field is,
I'm sure that he really
on that field.
has fully grappled with the implications of pulling the
There
trigger,
will
man,
be sports lighting on
and
that
does not
field.
fantasize
What
about
we're saying
it.
is the field is going to be toward the end of the project because the field is going to go where the existing school is. So we have to finish the school that's under construction now, tear down the existing school, and then put
Yeah, that's the next step, right? Let's infra technology to hunt homeless people is one thing, but what if we give it a flamethrower so we can just burn down the camps? Right?
That's
Again,
simplify.
That's like we'll just call that weed whacking.
Which I am confident
Efficiency in government.
and we will
Right.
have some recommendations to do that. So the original Doherty project as designed.
I don't want to be around anymore.
What we have to do is get past this guaranteed maximum.
I just don't want to be around anymore.
In
There's
order to
too
keep the
much
schedule
fucking
and
shit
buy
on me.
ourselves a little time to find some alternative ways to buy the full project that we originally planned to do. And as is mentioned in the report, we're seeing that cost of materials are anywhere between 10% and 90% more expensive than the same materials for South High School just 2 years ago. So, and that was a project we brought in under budget, but we didn't see the kind of inflationary pressure.
Kate Toomey runs for mayor. probably wins.
The good news is
So
we'll get the
let's just
original
marinate on
plan.
that one for a second.
We have to destroy her political career before the next
We,
election.
we really need to get her to have a public freakout
On
so
those,
that
we keep
people
the
feel
schedule
weird about voting for her.
forward.
Yes.
So that the progress-
I'm so ready to see Joe Petty in a pussy.
Thank you, Steve. I think your commitment to that is very important. And
Oh, man.
the solar arrays even. That
Oh, pussy hats. Remember that.
Available coming up. It might be the smart move if we can get federal funding to fund that beyond us paying for it.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, that's right. We didn't want to just automatically
Bypassing Calorio now, not even waiting for her to recognize him.
We're doing by borrowing. Let's explore. There's state ARPA funds. There are other.
Wow.
Let's explore another way to fund these. So it
I
doesn't
hope
have to go
that seems like it's copy and pasted from somewhere
At the end of the
legit.
day, we will make sure they're there. If we can do it in a way.
He's a co-owner of a CrossFit gym. That makes so much sense.
More than we originally intended because of the cost overruns.
It would be
We wanted to
a
eliminate-
cartoonishly
limit
on the
that
nose
as much as
detail to include for a fictional character.
And
Like
we
part
should
of
look at
the
every
policy
avenue when it comes to
is
funding.
the co-owner of a CrossFit gym.
And my understanding is other schools in
Man, that's-
Massachusetts has the same issue. They're over budget by, if not more than what we are in some cases, for different reasons and for different parts of the schools. So,
Who would you rather not be around? Him or just a regular CrossFit
We
teacher?
should talk to the legislative delegation or regarding whether or not the state.
Say it again.
Cover the cost.
I said, who would you rather not be around? Paul Sear or just any CrossFit teacher?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, still Paul Sear. I mean, oh my God.
Also, my understanding is that it was $100 million was given to the DESI.
That's also doing open mic comedy. Hey, everybody!
And also $100 million.
Never again for me. One and done. Wasn't even in person.
Went out on top.
And but my point being, there could be APA money available for this if we coordinate this right. So again, I just want to thank you, Mr. Manager, for your commitment to this project. And I would ask if you had it prioritized, I would definitely have to put the lighting on the top of the football field. I think people are expecting that atmosphere, nighttime in that neighborhood. And I know it's not going to be until probably 25 or 26.
People are expecting the atmosphere. What?
Councilor King?
They want to.
It's a fucking school. It's a school building.
He's hoping they'll book the rapper atmosphere.
It's not a fucking nightclub.
This is Paul.
What are you talking about?
Joby Smart went crazy.
It makes me think a little bit about a song I sing to my daughter. It says not one, not two, not three, not four, five.
Has anyone
6,
mentioned this
7,
is a city
8.
council
We're
fit?
talking $23 million, Mr. Chairman. And
hello,
fantastic suit.
I think this is the
in
first
my
time he's been on
conversation
camera
with
like
the
this.
City manager some months ago.
God damn.
We spoke about.
It is a nice suit.
This sort of
love
move. Question I have a couple of questions. One is, as it relates to the sports lighting, do we have any idea how much money we're talking about? It says here, it kind of delineates.
He can't.
The reduction of 7 million. I'm just curious. Do you have an idea what
We've heard from the inside that he'll never be able to either, which is
dollar amount
fun.
looks like?
Mr. Manager?
Through you, Mr.
Sorry,
Chairman. I think it's
repeat
about
that, Travis. What?
$400,000.
We heard from the inside that King will never
And,
be able to pick up the microphone, which is fun.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I know that there's a lot of questions on this. And with respect to some of that, some of the thinking I had is I know that when there's changes on various projects, that there's I think something called change orders.
Honestly, the green ribbon kind of
I
throws off his
just
whole
wanted to the chair,
fit. He should probably take
if
it off.
perhaps someone from the administration can
Doesn't
speak
match.
to whether or not there's any change orders with specificity that's really showing us. I know we have a broad range from 10% to 90%.
Change orders would be a nice thing to show us, but they're not, honestly.
As a body to see the change orders in what's
Isn't that something like when there's cost overruns? Aren't you supposed to show that?
We certainly can provide
Brendan,
whatever information.
you would
is
know.
interested.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's available. It's not hidden in any
Ms. Lynch is
way, shape,
here
or
and she
form.
could speak to any
Oh, it's
change
already
orders.
available.
I could give you one example.
Oh, the problem with labs too is that somebody has to mic up George Russell, and I don't want
Came in $10 million more than was budgeted. electrical conduit, this is more than a 300,000 square foot building, so there's a lot of electrical conduit that cycles through the multiple floors of this building. The electrical conduit for Doherty High School is 85% more expensive than the same electrical conduit that we spent just 2 years ago through South High School. So it's not like we changed things at the last minute that drove the prices up or anything of that nature. It's just literally as they bid the various packages that go into
Brian, where's that
the
left hand?
building, you're seeing
It's like it's medium behind his back, so he's only a little high.
He's
part of the project
just
go up so
assembled. It's not really
significantly,
outright lying.
that those prices are going into the actual bids. And in some cases, I think they were almost afraid to put numbers in there because these prices change so significantly by the time they actually go to.
I think they should get the old Madison Square Garden like
months
down
or
from the
more after you
ceiling
get a
microphone.
bid,
Have to hold like
prices
this.
could be significantly up, and they'll be on the hook for the difference. So in some cases, we've had trouble even getting more than one bidder on some of these packages within the
I'm
project
doing it.
because of the real dynamics of the marketplace in construction and cost of materials.
What are the chances of us getting Bruce Buffer from the UFC as the next city manager?
Oh, yeah.
Administration speak to the sort of change order aspect. This isn't any way to question kind of the cadence of this. I think we know this has been a bit of a crescendo. But if there's some sort of documentation of in addition, we got the verbal report today regarding the electrical, I think you said conduits. But is there something called change orders, or is there anything analogous to that where we can get some specificity through the chair?
Ms. Lynch?
Hi, through the chair. I'm Julie Lynch, Chief of Public Facilities.
It is true that
referring to change orders is actually for the design, bid, build type of process, which doesn't apply
materials
to
are much higher priced than they used to be.
project.
Yeah.
And what the city manager was referring to is we
But I
have
don't know if
packages that are.
And it's not across the board, right? Like they're probably seeing a moderate
for
increase in
that standing
drywall,
list.
but like in this
So
case, they're talking about a
it's
very
actually a
specific
better
type of
value for the
conduit.
city to do that
The price could
process.
be,
So
it
we
just might
have
not
a
be available.
Change order. We've
Yeah.
gotten to the number that we have through negotiation and through value engineering.
Or at least give Ed Augustus a tennis racket.
The change order that you refer to is not on file. I mean, it's a value engineering process with multiple estimators reaching a certain price. And then
thanks.
those packages are, we obtain an estimate, those packages are procured for each trade, if you will.
Thank you. And the documentation of the packaging, I'm just looking for, Mr. Chairman, something that we can perhaps share with constituents who have questions and things of that nature, hearing about the value that this process and the strategy that we're engaged upon here is going to be, actually, it's hard to say, it's going to save us some money somehow. It sounds like that's a fact, but is there a way for us to get some delineation of some of those packages through the chair?
So
Is there a way for you to be at all transparent about this?
And there is documentation on those, on the prices that we have.
We have just a scrap of
Any
transparency,
changes that
please?
take place, which would be applicable to a change order and
Oh,
a
no?
design
Okay.
build scenario, would be taken out of contingency later, and that would also be documented. So everything is documented. The procurement that we've done to date is fully documented.
Thank you. And again, I would like to see some of that documentation, Mr. Chairman, by way of an order. And the last question I had through the chair is, it mentions here that the project budget will be responsible for funding electricity costs throughout the construction process. Is that new, or is that something that we were already funding? Through the chair.
Through the chair. That would be typically funded by the city.
Paul Heyman was the city manager.
And
We can
avoids any
maybe get
upcharges from the
ECW back at the Palladium. So.
Thank you. Appreciate the work. I mean, this is a big one. But it sounds like that's.
Did Nico's supposed to present something tonight, right?
Economy is moving with inflation.
I don't
and I
think
guess
so.
the last question through
Wasn't
the
there
chair
something
to
on the agenda?
administration is, do we have any sort of forecasting with respect to analysis of the trajectory of the inflation and things that we're experiencing? So do we anticipate a lull? What are the experts saying through the chair?
Mr. Manager.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I haven't seen any kind of.
Yeah, there's some.
prediction. I think
He's
somebody
like
could make a lot of
presenting
money if they could figure out the prediction of where we're
report or
going,
a
in terms of some of these supply chain
some
issues
sort
and inflation that's driving them. It's a cascading set of effects. Fuel prices going up, so the transportation, the production of these materials, the delivery of these
Wow.
materials.
I'm
all
really.
could
This
impact
is really.
our costs
This is a conflict of interest for me.
and create some of these materials. So I don't
You
think we
you
totally
can
know
yes.
where we're going.
I used to have my job at the Worcester
Raise
Business Journal.
interest rates in order to slow the
exists.
rate of inflation, how
And it's
long
real.
that takes, how effective that is.
That's fine.
Did we get? Did everyone give you your respect? Did everyone bow down to you for your further
This is the
winnowing
same
your way,
code,
get,
same
like,
process,
sliding further and further into the inner
that
circle?
we use that brought
Oh, I'm
East South High
I'm
School
so
under
far
budget,
in the inner
brought
circle
the
that I'm
Price under
back out of
budget.
it. It's crazy.
So
It's
this
like
is a process that is.
He's got
tried
his
and
own
true
circle.
many
I'm
big
in a circle
processes.
that's so
And
inner.
team
It's
that's
just a
pretty
circle
well
of one.
experienced, both the city
I have
side,
no
Mr.
influence or
Fontaine, who's the
Speaking of the
general
Worcester
contractor,
business
know
community,
what they're
Crafty
doing.
Kombucha, our
It's
sponsor,
got a good
everybody,
track
as
record.
always, the only
Kept
ethical
the band
consumption
together,
of
if you will,
capitalism.
through these three projects. The one new.
Bill, how does it
element
feel
in
to
this
be
project
considered
is extraordinary
a business
inflation,
leader
that
in
seems
Worcester?
You know,
changing literally by the week
it
or
really
month.
changed my life around.
Exactly where to live.
You know, I
appreciate all the work.
it's all been coming together lately, you know, because I beat Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy, and I've sort of moved out of the Volcano Manor, and now I'm in Landell, capital city, and I'm making my way towards Morgoth. So it's all coming up.
Tim Murray has not done any of this, as far as we know. So
No. Oh, I actually, I invaded Tim Murray's build on PvP and just kicked the fucking shit out of him. It wasn't even close. It wasn't fair. Didn't use a single spell. I just was taking down. Showed him who's boss.
We went through trying to push that number down.
Yeah. I'm working on my mask for the next offering at the Worcester Club. Going to making a sacrifice, and we're gonna all have sex with it first.
Tim Murray might have the Chamber of Commerce, but Bill has the Chamber of Secrets. So.
It's true. It's true.
We've got a good track record, and we're showing we're not just saying, "Hey, throw it on top." We're trying to beat that number down as much as possible.
And I got written about by Turtle Boy for the maybe 20th time. Who can keep track anymore? And I've been muting several dozen follower Twitter accounts for the past couple days. There was one really funny one though that cracked me up.
Really, some of the questions that I've received is around.
I think we posted it to the Instagram.
You did, yeah.
You know, what those numbers look like.
Bill is what you would call a piece of dog shit. Like if he died, somebody may ask, "Where was Bill buried?" The response would be, "Where do you bury dog shit?"
Do you think, in your estimation, that affects our
just harsh
certification in any way?
The lead certification won't be affected by the PV going on through a different project at all. I'm just.
It feels weird to interrogate these cost overages.
Do we know whether
having built the most expensive
greenhouse
minor league ballpark in the history of the world.
Yeah.
And how it's literally turned out to be twice as expensive as it was going in.
And you're not allowed to question it, but
and you don't talk about it. We just don't talk about it.
Let's take.
Whoa, wait, Steve Boskett's leaving the TNG.
That's why he's not there.
I like him.
On the project. We do, of course, have the.
I like him. He's one of the better ones.
That we'll be paying for,
Yeah.
after the school's up and
Definitely not
running,
going to replace
we'll
his
be
job
paying
either.
array that will supplement and bring us a net zero building that we
I
anticipate.
wonder if they're going to have somebody at city council every week now. If we're just going to like completely give up the fucking.
It'll be this fucking guy.
Have we had any conversation with?
Cyrus Moulton.
Yeah.
What's their reaction?
Cyrus Moulton. That sounds like a
this is
character
affecting other
from
communities,
fucking
not just
Ozark or
Worcester, of
something.
course, so they're not surprised by that, I'm sure. They are fully informed of our overrun, if you will.
All right, I'm going to make a quick switch because we're way off
Through
sync
the chair,
and
can you
Zoom is
talk
way
a little
better.
bit about
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's a bummer.
Is
that
it
Steve
really
Foskey's leaving.
Moulton's brother?
Who?
That's perfect. Cyrus Moulton, Seth Moulton's brother.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
Oh, the TNG already does that just fine. The TNG is like a cop press release.
Nope, that was worse.
We didn't get any audio, Travis. Maybe, you might have to click share tab audio.
Oh yeah, David Norman is going to be a journalism professor at Northwestern, which is kind of wild. That's like a very prestigious journalism.
Yeah.
And not my favorite person I've ever worked with. I don't know how he got that job, but good for him. No, Northwestern.
If it was Northeastern, I could see it.
Yeah, Northeastern. Yeah. Northern's like a school that
I feel like
is
there's
like
enough
fake
options and enough
good,
times
right?
that we're going to be able to get them.
It's only had that
Maybe if
perception in
inflation
the past
cools
5 years,
over the next 18
and
months
it's
or
really
so, we
not.
might be able to
It's all
actually do
fake
better
and
on
built
some
in
of
the
these
lies.
elements.
Which is like any college, but like
Thank you. And I appreciate all of your efforts in keeping us updated and providing some transparency and clarity for our constituents.
Northeastern is
you
UMass Amherst and Glass.
that
All right.
we ahead with our conservation restriction that I know we'd be asking about.
And it's in fucking Boston, which sucks ass.
Thank you.
Amherst is much nicer.
Okay, we have Council Rose.
Boston gets
Mr.
sucked my.
Chairman, Council
You don't have to go
Hadji,
to
I
school for an
just,
extra year.
Asked my
Ooh.
question related
That's right.
looking at other
what is
resources,
this
and
privacy
Chairman, the city manager just shared that we have some leftover ARPA funds, and I know that we'll be keeping an eye on uncovering whichever stones we can to get this funding and the resources we need to finish this. Thank you.
Uncovering whichever stones we can. What the fuck does
Mr.
that mean?
Chairman,
Where do you keep your money?
Councilor King, I think touched on some of the things that I was
My money
thinking
is
about, but I don't know if he had the same terminology that I was thinking. I was just plain old looking and saying to myself,
God,
is
I
this the
love the
project
way
that we
George
originally
Russell
planned?
talks sometimes. It just
Through you,
tickles
Mr.
me.
Chairman, to Ms. Lynch, is this
I don't know why I'm
the
thinking about this,
original
but did anybody
plan, or
watch
have
the new
we
the
changed
new
that plan
Batman?
at all?
I really liked it.
Oh, the new Batman? Really good.
I don't know why George Russell is making me think of.
program or the
Loved
plan.
it. It's been sort of a good
the
year for movie
facility,
magic.
We
I say.
haven't added extra things that we
Oh yeah, Bill, we gotta talk about
originally
the
weren't
North
on the
Bend.
program when we went to the state for the portion of the funds.
No, sir.
Oh wow,
Okay,
that's
thank you, Mr. Chairman, on that. Is the state
Anya,
contributing anything toward this,
what's her
Mr.
name?
Chairman, and where
Joy
are we at the percentage
Joy.
Anya Joy Taylor.
for the state contribution on this
She
facility?
is in my Power
I
50.
thought weren't we at 50% before?
Hum
Where are we at now if the city is picking up this
Wow.
20-something
I mean, she's
million more?
Robert Eggers' muse,
Through you, Mr.
apparently.
Chairman, the state
That's
reimburses at
so
per
cool.
square
I'm
foot
so jealous of
cost,
him.
period.
Okay.
So whatever the cost of the project above that per square foot cost is on the local.
I was talking to an old guy
So
today,
unless
probably in his
the
60s.
MSBA
He's like, "Oh yeah, me and my
finds
friends,
additional
we were in high
resources and
school. We
says
call
they're
ourselves the
gonna help Worcester and
Vikings.
all the
So
other
my buddies are all
communities
going to see the
similarly
Northman
situated,
tomorrow night."
This
And
additional cost is on
he was
us,
like a regular ass
which is
dude
why
from
we're
Hingham.
doing everything
I was
we
like,
can to
"Oh,
find
they're
other ways
they're
to
gonna
get
freak
that.
out.
They're gonna see the berserker scene. They're gonna freak out.
They're
Yeah.
gonna freak out."
If this,
Yeah, we caught ourselves with Vikings on account of how many beers we
drink
drink.
this evening.
That's so cool.
What
Come back. They're gonna come back.
what would we be
Just
asking
call
for
yourself
just in
Vikings
general? I
because
don't
you
know
party
Through you,
an
Mr. Chairman, I
exact
think
number, but
Mr. McGurthy is here. I don't know if he knows off the top of his head where we would
Oh, I want to see that
be
too.
at percentage-wise with this addition.
Oh, I need to see. I might go
Through
see
the
that.
chair,
This is freaking out about an ambulance too. I'm dying to see an
funding was
ambulance.
probably between 47 and 50.
And I heard everything everywhere all at once was really good.
Down to 45
It's really
50%,
been a
and
good
it's
season
lower.
for movies. This is so many good
But as
movies.
the manager said, we're
But yeah,
on the
the
hook
new
for
Batman movie like
So, Mr. Chairman, since Mr.
felt
McGurk
really
is here,
true to the comic books in a
I'll
in
throw one more question at him.
a refreshing
And it
way.
talks a
I'll
little
say.
bit
Yeah,
about the
I loved that
things that I
version of
talked about
Gotham
last week when I
a lot.
zoomed in for the
What?
meeting.
I love that version of Gotham.
Financial
Yeah,
situation
so
for us as a city. are
Hi,
we in a
Milk Crow.
good position right
Wow, we
now,
got both Mollies here.
to continue to
Cronin in
sign
a-
on the dotted
that's
line for these? Looking
what a
forward
day.
and
Both
hopefully
Mollies.
looking forward.
Too many Mollies.
Boco, Mocro. Great to have
Alpha
you.
Molly, I'm sweating.
For our financial picture.
Through the chair,
Yeah,
as
you
the
guys-
city manager mentioned, we
you
had a
guys
conversation
gotta
with Moody's last
follow
week to talk
Soraya.
about
Sarai Rivera is going through a transformation in
and
front of our eyes.
updated them on the
She's
project.
going to
They
get
didn't
into
raise
toy.
any red
She's
flags,
going to get into
understanding kind of our
NFTs.
current financial
She's going
position.
to know what
But to
K-pop
your
is pretty
point,
soon.
as we look at future
gonna be-
years and
it's gonna be
future
crazy.
projects, obviously the higher the debt
My
burden, the
favorite
bigger the
Met look
obligation on the
was
city, the bigger the obligation of debt service within
like
the city.
whoever
budget.
was wearing those
And so we
dishwashing
have to be
gloves. That was a
careful
good
and
look.
strategic about what it is we actually go forward with as a city. That's
I never
true
wanted it to stop.
10 years ago, it's true today.
Wanted
It'll
to
be
be in
true
that
10
world
years
for
from
you.
now.
I didn't pay
but
attention to the
unexpected
Met
runs like this obviously
at all,
kind of
except
have
for
us
just Sydney
reassess
Sweeney.
what it is we can and can't afford in the future.
How much, just roughly, Mr. Chairman, through you.
So, yes,
How much
somebody-
extra is this going to mean for our budget?
I saw a
each year?
tweet today that was like,
Picking up this
I don't know what the
27
Met does. I don't know what it's
Through the
for.
chair, this is
Don't
an
know
estimate. but
why
it would
those
be
people are
between
there.
one or-
I don't know.
Around $1 million a year.
Yeah, I know
debt
no one
service
asked me,
as we
but
go
I'm
forward.
on the show, so I can talk about whatever the fuck I want.
I'll direct this to the manager. If he wants one of his team to pick up the answer, that's fine with me, but.
You know what would be awesome as a
you know,
cooking
just the
show?
last bit, Can we say that this is it, or?
Like
are we gonna
like
be-
grilling with George.
And
I want to
understand
approach him
that.
about
I
that.
saw the
Like
private
that'd be a
sector,
really
private
good
sector
addition to the Twitch stream.
in my
Like
small
every
business. I
Friday,
had
I'll
electricians
get together with
come
George
to me,
Russell. I'll be like,
you know,
yeah, I went down to Belcito's. I got
So I get
a
it.
couple,
It's
two,
the reality
3
of
pounds
what's
of
going on
sausages. So I'm gonna throw them around the grill. Put
Are we
some
locking in?
peppers
Is
and
there
onions.
something in our contracts that we're putting out that is
You just said
locking in this
peppers and
number?
onions the
Or is it
exact way
something
Jordan
that we
Russell
might
would
be
say
back
peppers and
again
onions.
Peppers and onions.
Asking for additional funds.
So,
No, the thing about a sausage is you got to cook it a little bit longer than you think you do. You really want that skin to be cracking. You want the juices to be pouring out.
If you lock in the price of the school.
Peppers and onions, though, you got to put that in some
built out
tinfoil.
and awarded. And that's why we're trying to do it now. So we can
I think
lock
that
in this
I'm
price
onto
and
something here
not
with
be
the George Russell
subject
cooking
to any
show.
additional spikes.
I think it's
And
great.
current, as I mentioned, when the subcontractors bid on this, there's some nervousness on their part because they're making.
Oh yeah, his hand is all the way
assumptions
back on his
prices
belt now.
be
We're in
materials that they might not
straight up
procure.
lie territory.
But
Yeah.
this puts
Fucking
the risk on
iron.
them and
We
takes
should
the
let's
risk
just
away
get at
from
talking,
us.
saying
And
a
that's
lot
why
of
there's
stuff
an
on
urgency
record
to
about
lock this in now
contractors
and
and
at
school
least
building
limit
projects.
the exposure the city has for the rest of the fund.
More on record things,
Has the,
especially when
you
it's
have contracts in place with some vendors that have basically have come back and asked to re-look at the contracts that they've agreed to? Or is this just for future contracts that we're talking about for?
I think there's one contract that's in dispute that has gone to the Attorney General's office, and there's some back and forth. So I believe that contract has not been awarded yet, but I think most of the other contracts, and she's nodding yes, have been awarded. So until that, there was a bid protest between two bidders, went to the Attorney General's office. That's going to play out before we can sign that
Interesting. That's
contract.
like that's some news right there. What is going on at the? Why is a bidding process getting sent to the Attorney General? Right? Isn't that's like not? He kind of casually breezed by that, but that's kind of
Chairman, to be really brief.
Been taking bribes or something?
Just wanting through the chair. If there's been any awareness of any potential additional ARPA funds from Santa Claus at the federal level.
Yeah, can we get one of these people to get him to explain a little bit more why there's the Attorney General's office is involved in the Doherty School Building project? Like, can we not just gloss right by that?
Very much like.
What the fuck? We can't just accept that that's a common thing that happens, you know?
I think it could be in the sense if it's just a dispute over who won or should be winning a particular bid, the AG acts as the arbiter for it.
The AG, that happens quite a bit, or that's a common thing.
It's kind of in their purview if there's any dispute over a bid. in negotiation.
That's something that like they
Congress wants to
would keep a
add
public record of, right?
Yes, it doesn't mean that there isn't something there, but it's not entirely
But I do
uncommon for
think
the
that there's
AG's
still a
oversight.
fair amount of
Okay.
state ARPA
All right.
funds.
Well, so if
that
I send an email,
Worcester should get its fair share of, and
AG's office,
that's
they
what
really have to tell me.
collectively I'd like to put our kind of focus on. It's already
Okay,
here
I
in
don't
the
know.
Commonwealth, it's already in various buckets, and I think we ought to try to get some of that so that we take some of the edge off of these overruns that we're seeing, and maybe have the state ARPA funds help us with that a little bit.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We know that, I think we've made it clear tonight to the public that this is simply a
What?
state of
What's the real
affairs as
story?
relates
There's
to
no-
our economy. That we're dealing
Real
with.
story is
I
that
don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
Bill and Ed are going to run
I've
into
never
each other. They're going to run into. They're going to find themselves somewhere random in Europe. They're going to run into each other. They're going to have a nice dinner, and they're going to.
We might have a little. We might have a little menage a trois.
I mean, I wasn't even. I was thinking more of like a my dinner with Andre situation, but yeah, you can certainly fuck them if you want.
We might have a little hothead summer.
Thank you. So we'll send that to education. Roll call.
Mr. Chairman, sending it to committee, we're not taking a vote on it?
This is chat. This.
The finance terms later on. I was going to go later on. We can do it now.
Together, yeah.
We can
How do
file
I
it.
prove to George Russell that I'm serious
We
about
can do 10.4A collectively, if you like, for the finance. I was going to wait till later on. But that's fine.
Send a big shout out to Turtle Boy for uncovering this story.
Yes. Council Gloria?
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Councilmember Carlson?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose?
Turtle Boy,
Council
Aiden
Russell?
Kearney, if you're
Council
listening,
Toomey?
I
Yes.
have sex with
Everybody.
everyone on the city council.
Yes, we
once
have
a week.
10.36A through G,
should totally print that.
10.36A and B, 10.38A through E. Those are the finance items. We can adopt those on the roll call.
Three guy three way. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council
The
King?
Whoever wins, we lose. That's the tagline to that court
Council
case.
Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
Mayor
Does anyone
Petty?
notice Sarai's background?
Transferring information, communication.
He appears to have put up a virtual background, and I want to know what it is.
Manager.
yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Gloria?
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Member Carlson?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. 11A, we can file. That's the dates of the 6th district line. So those are school committee, the public hearings. So on the motion, we can file roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Gloria?
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Member Carlson?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes.
I just jinxed for Mayor Petty. Sorry.
Okay, report to the planning board. It's an ordinance committee meeting held for May 24th, 2020, referred to ordinance committee. Roll call.
Yeah, I definitely have never criticized anybody in city.
Yeah.
Yes.
Council Gloria?
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council King? Council Member Carlson?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes, so 13A was held, 13B was held. We are on 13C, Communication City Manager, terms of information communication road to the master plan initiative for improvements to Blythewood Park. Council Russell?
Mr. Chairman, I
What
had
did that
a
letter
long
say?
conversation with the Parks Commissioner this afternoon, and I'm satisfied with the information he provided to me. And I appreciate his communication with me. I do suggest, though, it is disheartening that the district council was not in the loop about some of this information that was out there. So hopefully there's a better communication
Interesting.
in the future. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Say more. Speak on that.
Thank you. 13D.
Mr. Mayor, would you like to send that to Parks or?
Yeah, so the Parks, roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Councilmember Carlson?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose?
They don't even
Yeah.
respond to my
Russell?
emails. That's so infuriating. I write these wonderful emails to them, and they don't even respond to them.
I think we held 13E. 13D wasn't held.
It wasn't?
No.
Okay, 13D is the city council see Worcester does hereby approve the potential schedule so if the body cameras.
Listen, as somebody that got preferential treatment from Joe early, I just want to say that I think he's innocent.
Well said. Well said.
Apologize, but did we get a time frame related to the policy for this? I know back in August they had I think they ended the public participation piece with Human Rights Commission, and we've been waiting for a policy for quite some time. So I'm just curious, what's the time frame for that? And
They're just never going to give you the policy.
As it relates to negotiations with the union regarding all this.
Mr. Manager?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I think the hope of the police department was to begin the draft of the policy once we had the contract in place. We knew it should.
My dad is
quickly,
judgy.
and the specifics of that. I know there've been other council orders that have asked.
My dad is judgy.
The ACLU to see if it could be incorporated into the policy, which we're open to doing. So after we go through all of that, we're happy to bring back a policy.
That's so sick.
I love that.
Andy just has no
as it
idea
relates
what's
to,
going on. What is going on?
Negotiations. We do have an executive session later tonight where I'd be happy to fill the council in on the status of some of those negotiations.
I hate it when he says negotiations. It's such a Brahmin ass thing to do. Just say it like a normal guy, dude.
With the
Negotiations.
policy, development.
What a fucking asshole.
I know from my other professional life the importance of policy implementation. There's a lot of questions I have. I think there were some other counselors who had talked about as relates to all of this. And, I reviewed the Human Rights Commission notations yesterday. And there's also a lot of folks that are doing body cameras. We know the state is still doing some work as relates to that. And, I don't think it's a heavy lift. And I'd like to see that soon, very soon.
I don't think it's a heavy lift. No, it's not. They're intentionally not doing it.
Lift. It can be done in short order. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Motion is to approve. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council GA?
I'm sorry, could you repeat again what we're voting on?
Jay just asked.
And this is
Oh, Bergman
approve-
House, you should
this is
vote.
to approve the
Yep.
timeline?
Yep.
Could I just ask a point of order here?
Point of order in the middle of a roll call, but,
Okay, then no, sorry.
okay.
That's how
Council GA, how
Take
would you
your
like to be
space.
reported? No. Council King?
Yes.
Council
Where was
Carlson?
fun-loving Petty from the beginning of the
Rivera?
meeting?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's just getting grumpy.
Yes.
Council Rostal?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. We held 13E. Next is 13, 13F we held.
Yep.
13G.
Oh, okay, good.
We do reconsideration, Mr. Chair.
Oh, which one? The last one?
13D.
13E?
D.
D. So motion is to reconsider 13D. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
No.
Council Calorio?
No.
Council GA?
No.
Council King?
No.
Council Carlson?
No.
Council Rivera?
No, they're trying to lock it in.
Rose?
No.
So
Council
fucking.
Russell?
No one gives a shit.
Council Toomey?
No.
Even the cops don't give a shit about body cameras. It took you guys fucking 8 years to do it. And like
We are on 13G, the City Council, City of Worcester,
Get
Is
over
hereby authorized Massachusetts General Law 30B, Section 12, to see.
It's something that would get tossed
award
from
a contract or contracts for body worn camera and taser
not
services for a
you
period
know.
of 5 years. So normally it's a 3-year period, so they're asking for a 5-year period. Council King?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The last week, one of the things I think that muddied up the water for me is that when we went through this back in November, whenever it was, I think we had made a decision. I think the recommendation from what I reread over the last few days was that this packaging wasn't going to happen, and somehow it came out of committee packaged with tasers, which I voted for a week or two ago.
Wow.
And then, the original conversation was around the cell phones. And I did have the opportunity to speak with folks at the city as it relates to this contract after I think it was an economic development meeting. I'm sorry, municipal operations. So I have a little more clarity as it relates to this. And, I do want to see a timeline for the policy, Mr. Chairman. And I'd like to make that request by way of a motion. There's timelines for everything. We need to get an idea of when this is going to get going. They had a short, scant policy when they did the pilot some years ago. And I'd like to see this moving, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
The motion is to authorize and also, Council Hajiak?
Yeah, so I just wanted to add, just like 13D, it feels like what I remember from Lieutenant Murtha, or Sergeant Murtha, I apologize, I don't know his rank, mentioning that there's potential 2 weeks
Commandant.
to get the draft policy. So I just want to make it clear, I'm not against the body cams. We're simply talking about having the policy ready to us before vote. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
Such a simple request.
And we will motions authorized and also separate report for timeline. Collectively, roll call.
Councilor Bergman,
Yes.
Councilor Calorio,
Yes.
Councilor Agia,
Yes.
Councilor King,
Yes.
Councilor Merrill Carlson,
Yes.
Councilor Rivera,
Yes.
Councilor Rose,
Yes.
Councilor Russell,
Yes.
Councilor Toomey,
Yes.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes, so I've been asked to hold items 13H,
Mr. Chairman.
13Y. Prior to doing so, Councilor Carlson?
Prior to doing so, reconsideration on 13G.
Oh, okay, 13G, motion is to reconsider, roll call.
The political culture of using that reconsideration thing in Worcester is so wild.
Councilor Calorio,
No.
Councilor Agia,
No.
You know?
King,
No.
Yeah.
Councilor Merrill Carlson,
No.
Councilor Nguyen,
What point are they proving?
Rivera,
No.
Councilor Rose,
No.
Councilor Russell,
No.
Councilor Toomey,
No.
Um,
and Mayor Petty.
No.
Yeah, it's this. Thanks for turning into another week of Grilling with George.
Go on that.
Today we're making stuffed cohogs. You throw them right on the grill. I think it'd be great. I really think it'd be great.
Yes.
Agia,
Yes.
Yes.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay, so we will see you next week. Oh, so next session, sorry.
Mr. Chairman,
Um,
do we have to do a under suspension before?
Oh, we can do that, yep. So motion is to go into suspension. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. You don't have anything?
Oh, I just wanted to make sure someone had something that was an emergency.
Anybody have anything? Nope. Okay. So we're going to need a roll call to adopt the following. That the city council convene executive session on May 3rd, 2022 meeting for the purpose of discussing strategy with respect to contract negotiations with the following labor unions: NEB, PBA, Local 911, Worcester offices, NAGE 495, IAFF, Local 1009, and city council will not reconvene in open session. We will not reconvene in open session. A roll call.
Yes.
Councilor Calorio,
Yes.
Councilor Agia,
Yes.
I love it. Joe Petty's on the.
Merrill Carlson,
Joe Petty's on the tear tonight.
Councilor Rivera,
Yes.
Councilor Rose,
Rob?
Yes.
Council Russell,
Yes.
Council Toomey,
Yes.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes. Wow.
Cool.
That happened.
Yeah, they could have just gone home.
Should have just gone home.
Yeah, really, nothing got done there. They just complained about cost overages at Doherty without substantially like changing anything. They just said we want more information, and then Augusta said fuck off, and they were like, okay, thank you.
For reminding us of our role in the city.
Yeah, right. And we didn't talk about the drones. And now they're gonna give the cops like the same cushy contract they get every fucking year or whatever. So
Yeah, Bill, just with the contract negotiation stuff in the AG's office, that is pretty standard. I mean, again, there could totally be something there, but it's not uncommon when jobs go out to bid, especially when it's a big job and there's lots of bids for the AG to act as an arbiter.
Right. Okay. Cool. I mean, like, it might be a way to advance the story and like get a better understanding of why it's so why it's so expensive or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be something there, but who knows? It's all dependent on what I get from my email to the AG's office tomorrow.
Yeah.
If they do a motion to reconsider and it doesn't pass, then isn't there like it locks out the it being brought up again for a certain amount of time? Isn't that correct?
No, they can't vote on it again, and otherwise they could, which is like the idea about doing it. But like it's always used in Worcester in a particular way of like emphasizing the importance of a vote, or like showing to a political rival that this is going to be used against them later, or something like that. It's just very quirky the way it works, because that last consideration we saw did not need a consideration. Like it was unanimous vote on like on like a form thing. So
well, as we found out, they're getting very agitated and bitchy with each other.
They are getting very bitchy with each other over this cop thing, and it's 100% Kate Toomey's fault. She is fucking losing it over this shit. Like her brain cannot handle it. She's like, what are we supposed to do? Not think the cops are amazing and deserve nothing but like unmettered praise, and that we should try to hold them to a certain standard of accountability. Like she just can't. Her brain is short circuiting at the prospect of that, and it's kind of a delight to see, honestly, in my opinion.
I love it. I really do love it. But yeah, I mean, as far as the drone stuff, I'm glad that it didn't come up with two not being here.
Yeah, right. I mean, they deserve to like be really involved, and that honestly, I think they probably heard that it was getting held, and they're like, "Well, why am I even bothering showing up?" Because like, if you're sick, but it's still an important meeting, you can make it.
Yeah,
like, you can just. I think probably that was what was going on there. Yeah, right. Yeah, other than that, not a whole lot. Just what's the guy who's like the counterpoint to Idella Hazard at the beginning of every meeting? What's his name?
Fred Nathan.
Oh, Fred Nathan. Yeah, we should. Okay, so the two things that are important here is we need to get them to run campaigns against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they can live in the same district. That'd be fun. I call managing Idella Hazard's campaign. Brendan, I think you'd be very well suited to manage Fred Nathan's campaign.
Yeah, I'm already familiar with his signage, so that's
yeah. And we'll pit them together. It'll be a knockdown, drag out fight. No standard of civility or decorum. We're letting them say whatever they want. We're getting personal, ad hominem attacks.
We need to get Private Street Guy in to moderate debates between the two of them, though.
Oh, yeah, Private Street Guy. And when he gets really frustrated, he's just going to put his glasses up on his forehead and they're going to rest over his eyebrows.
And all of this as a secret attempt to get them married, because we all know there's love in the air there, and
they're really like that's what keeps them showing up.
She said he makes her curious. That's
Oh yeah, curious, not furious. She definitely said curious.
Definitely old lady talk for something.
Yeah, curious. They just, every week they meet up they make sweet, sweet, passionate love, and then they go to the city council meeting and pick something to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Imagine just a montage of all of the ridiculous things they've said over the years, and it's like the song from Up, like as they're just like, getting up to the podium. Do 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 do.
What an episode.
I really need to approach George Russell about this cooking show. I'm
think
invested
so.
in it. I
I
think
think
it's really great. I think that we'd have a lot of fun, grilling, chilling.
We're in the middle of a dark time. We need to find ways to, lighten the mood. And what better way than having George Russell make a chicken pot pie on our Twitch channel?
It's Cooking with George. Today we're doing sausages, and next week we're going to be doing sausages. The week after that, I think we're going to do some. We're going to do some sausages.
It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Don't
So
have questions like, "What does George's mustache smell like?" That's not a fun question. There's no
sausages.
Sausages.
Answer.
It smells like the peppers. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, I mean, they're just continually kicking the can down the road on these important things, and then quietly and without much fanfare, doing bad things. It's just a cycle of abuse that we're living through here. But the whole damn world is bad. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, this is just a little cherry on top to watch just the palpable mediocrity of this political body we watch every week. That we love so much.
Maybe donate to some abortion funds this week, everybody. Maybe, go down to DC and throw a brick. I don't know, whatever. For comedy.
For parity's sake. As an idea. A brick of
I don't know that there's an amount of political organizing or voting that we could do to turn the tides back. So
no.
I don't know. What do we do? I guess we keep talking shit about Kate Toomey. But make sure you subscribe to billshaner.substack.com. Worcester sucks and I love it. This guy is at the top of the heap when it comes to Worcester's business community.
That's right. I am a business community CEO. Yep. I am a valuable member of the asset business community world of the CEO world. And I am here to take the business community of the metropolitan area by storm.
And Bill, where can people find you for financial advice?
Yes.
All my financial advice is free, and it is in fact financial advice. I don't know why people say that they are not giving financial advice before they give it. Definitely buy Bitcoin right now. And buy property in El Salvador, and that is financial advice.
So this is why Bill has been named by the Worcester Business Journal as one of the top 50 under 50, which is the 50 most business-oriented people under 50 pounds. Light as a finger, everybody.
Wait, did you guys see this meme that's been going around? That's just a tweet Elon Musked, and it says, "Next." This is the dumbest way to do this of all time.
Your screen might be too bright.
Just a bright screen.
Next, I will buy Breen's and get rid of the steak and cheese. It's so fucking funny.
What a good format. Listen to Worcester's Good But Hurts. Listen to 508, a show about Worcester.
Oh, exciting guest this week for Worcester's Good But Hurts.
Who do you got?
Very exciting guest. I don't know. I'm the new CEO, the new superintendent.
That's fantastic. That's amazing. Everybody subscribe. Make sure you subscribe on Patreon is the best way to do it.
Yeah, doing that on a Thursday. So I'll probably just get it up Thursday night. So
that's amazing. So check that out. you should listen to my podcast, Parts Unknown, a podcast about wrestling. We talked a little bit. There's some wrestling mentions here tonight. Get on there. We got our 20th episode coming up next week. Listen to speaking of abortion funds, the Seltzer Time had two great guests last week from the Jane Fund. So listen to that episode, support them, listen, watch, follow along every Monday night for Seltzer Time at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on twitch.tv/WootNannyComedy for some amazing guests, amazing talk, some good drops that some people might send in for Travis to maybe throw into the middle of the show sometimes.
A hot dog was ridiculous. Absolutely and utterly ridiculous.
Do we have that?
You guys have to watch. I put it up on YouTube. I put the latest break up on YouTube.
Hell yeah. So yeah, please tune into that. We come on, Geo Hellraiser, listen to my wrestling podcast. We're not like other wrestling podcasts. We talk about cool stuff. We talk about like last episode we talked about a show called Learning the Ropes, which is a 1980s sitcom made in Canada starring Lyle Alzada as a math teacher who moonlights as a wrestler in the NWA, and real wrestlers are in the show. It's the craziest TV show I've ever watched. Shout out to this breaking news. Hell yeah, good for
Wow.
for everybody.
I am moving to Nantucket. See you later. This is my next business move. And no more
Top
work.
50, under 50 on Nantucket.
Top 50 topless titties on Nantucket.
Thank you guys so much. As always, we're brought to you by Crafty Kombucha, the only ethical consumption under capitalism. We love to be sponsored by them. Make sure you go down to your local store, and if they don't have Crafty Kombucha, take all their rights away over the course of 30 years. So we love you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We will see you next Tuesday. Bye.